Welcome to the Daily Recap. A company that sells video games just tried to buy one of the oldest online marketplaces on the internet for $55.5 billion. That's not a typo. GameStop, the mall store that almost died, is swinging for the fences. So here's the question. Is Ryan Cohen a genius playing a long game nobody else can see? Or is this the most chaotic corporate move in recent memory? Let's get into it. GameStop has officially made a takeover bid for eBay worth $55.5 billion. The offer came from GameStop's chairman and CEO Ryan Cohen, and it landed like a bomb in the financial world this week. Cohen confirmed the bid publicly, framing it as a strategic acquisition that could fundamentally reshape e-commerce in the United States and beyond. The offer values eBay at a significant premium to where the stock was trading before the news broke. eBay's board has received the proposal and is expected to review it, though no acceptance has been announced as of this recording. Sources close to the situation say eBay's leadership is taking the offer seriously but has not committed to any deal. Cohen was direct about his reasoning. He said he sees enormous untapped potential in eBay and believes the platform could become a much more powerful competitor to Amazon if it is managed differently, scaled aggressively, and integrated with the kind of loyal retail community that GameStop has already built around gaming culture. Cohen made these statements directly, putting his name and his credibility fully behind the bid. This is not a rumor. This is a formal offer from one publicly traded company to acquire another. GameStop's stock jumped sharply on the news. eBay's stock also moved significantly. Markets were rattled. Analysts scrambled. And by the end of the trading day, this was the only story anyone in finance was talking about. Here is why this matters to you, even if you have never once bought something on eBay, and the last time you stepped in a GameStop was 2009. Amazon controls somewhere around 40% of all e-commerce in the United States. That is a staggering amount of market dominance for one company. Every other player in online retail is basically fighting over the leftovers. eBay, which launched back in 1995 and once felt unstoppable, has gradually faded into the background. It still makes money. It still has millions of users, but it has not seriously threatened Amazon in years. Cohen is arguing that this deal changes that equation. If GameStop acquires eBay and Cohen's vision plays out, you could be looking at a genuinely reinvigorated marketplace that gives sellers more options and gives buyers more competition, which almost always means better prices. That matters to anyone who shops online, which at this point is most of the country. There is also the seller angle. Millions of small businesses and individual sellers rely on eBay as their primary income. The uncertainty around this deal is already making those people nervous. Who owns the platform affects the fees they pay, the tools they get, and the rules they have to follow. A new owner with an aggressive growth strategy could mean opportunity. It could also mean disruption. And for someone whose livelihood depends on a platform, disruption is a scary word. For investors, this story is massive. GameStop pulling off a deal this size would completely rewrite the narrative around the company. It would transform Cohen from the guy who saved a dying mall store into the guy who built a retail empire from scratch. The stakes are enormous on both sides of this. To understand why this moment feels so surreal, you need to remember where GameStop was just a few years ago. In 2020 and going into 2021, GameStop was widely seen as a company heading toward irrelevance. Physical game sales were declining, digital downloads were taking over, storefronts were closing. The mainstream financial world had largely written GameStop off. Then came the short squeeze of January 2021. A wave of retail investors, organized largely through Reddit's Wall Street Bets community, drove GameStop's stock to astronomical heights in a matter of days. It became a cultural phenomenon. It made headlines globally. It also made Ryan Cohen, who had already taken a major stake in the company and joined its board, into a genuine celebrity in retail investing circles. Cohen had already built Chewy, the pet food and supplies e-commerce company, from nothing into a multi-billion-dollar business before selling it to PetSmart. He knew e-commerce, he knew branding, and he knew how to build a loyal customer base. When he took the reins at GameStop, he started pushing it away from pure retail and towards something broader, something with more digital ambition. eBay, meanwhile, had spent years selling off pieces of itself, including PayPal, and trying to find a clear identity in an Amazon-dominated world. It remains profitable and has a huge inventory of unique and second-hand goods, but the vision has felt blurry for a long time. Cohen is essentially betting that with the right leadership and the right strategy, that sleeping giant can wake up. So what happens from here? A few different paths are possible, and analysts are already mapping them out. The most straightforward outcome is that eBay's board negotiates, a deal gets done, and Cohen starts the hard work of integration and transformation. That process would take years and carry enormous execution risk. But the upside, if it works, is genuinely transformative. A second scenario is that eBay rejects the offer outright, or that another bidder emerges and drives up the price beyond what GameStop can absorb. A bidding war would be chaotic and expensive for everyone involved. There is also the regulatory question. A deal this size would face serious scrutiny from antitrust regulators who are already paying close attention to consolidation in tech and retail. Getting this through without significant conditions or concessions would not be easy. Analysts following the story are split. Some say Cohen has the vision and the credibility to pull this off. Others say GameStop simply does not have the infrastructure or the capital base to successfully integrate a company as complex as eBay. The next several weeks, as eBay's board responds formally and as financing details emerge, will tell us a lot about which direction this is heading. Here is where we stand. GameStop just made a $55.5 billion offer to buy eBay. Ryan Cohen says he wants to build a real Amazon rival. The financial world is stunned. eBay has not said yes. Markets are watching every move. Whether this is visionary or reckless, we are about to find out. That is your daily recap. If you want more stories like this every single day, hit like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss an episode.